Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M44. It's a Tier 6 American SPG and it's located on the south spawn of Westfield. And it's under the command of Pilatus. Now he's just joined in the platoon with somebody else and we'll find out who in a short while. It's a 155mm howitzer mounted on a Walker Bulldog chassis. And it's quite a potent little Arty. In fact, it's probably the best Arty in the game. And battle has commenced. Now, he's actually platooned with a VK3001H, he's further up the hill, and an OI as well. This is a Tier 6 game, and he's top tier in a 510 configuration. Now, what he's doing at the moment is he's aiming for where he thinks the enemy TDs are going to be located. But he may pull back. Yep, he's now having a look for enemy heavies, but he's found an Achilles. A TD, and he fires a round in, and wow! Just got an amazing hit there. 316 hit points. He estimated the Achilles would pull back after firing, and the shell went straight into him and wiped him out as he drove back into it. So what an amazing start to the game. And his next target is a Death Toaster, Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4.
That was close.
And he gets a near miss for 122 hit points. And that Death Toaster's running away. He's had enough. He doesn't want to be up there. He's two hits in short quite soon after each other, and he didn't want to get hit twice. We're now aiming for a KV-222 and a VK-3601H. Well, I think we're going to go for the KV-220. We fired in the round ahead of him, but he just didn't pull forward enough. Our platoon mate in the OI is engaging him, but he's just taken a huge amount of damage and he's stunned, and I suspect the enemy Arty has got eyes on him. Yep, he's just gone. It was the enemy Fifi who got him, the 105 FH-18B2. We fired in a round ahead of that KV-220 and we hit him. He did pull forward and he's stunned at the moment and tracked. Our reload time should be about 16 to 17 seconds. Fired another round at the KV-220 and this time it's a kill shot. 171 hit points. Now you'll notice that Pilatus is not using any premium consumables. That would drop the reload speed by about, or reload time by about 1 second. And he gets a near miss on the 3601H, a splash for 170, and the 3601 is killed. It was the Gorilla who got, no it wasn't the Gorilla, it was the M41 who got him. Okay, BDRG1B. We got a direct hit on him for 226, and he's been wiped out by our Fifi. Now off to the east, we're looking for where the mediums would normally go. They'll normally be behind that hill if our mediums have actually taken position on the hill opposite in K7. He's fired a round in where the enemy was last seen, and there's an M4A3 Easy 8. No, Easy 2, sorry, Super Jumbo. Okay, just taking a round. Can we get him as he retreats? Rounds out. This should hit. And it splashes in for 163, near miss. Okay, he's reloading quickly. We've only got the Type 58 there now because the T-3485 has gone over the other side. There he is. Rounds out, ahead of his track. And another splash hit for 214. Now we're 2 tanks down on the enemy at the moment. They seem to have done rather well up in the north. But one of the enemy Arties has just been spotted. It's the Hummel. We're dialing in on his position. He's pulling back into cover. Rounds out. This should... No, it's going to miss. He just pulled forward enough to avoid the shell. Right, we've got an ARL V-39, Tier 6 French tank destroyer. We get a shot. Oh, no need to. He's been killed. There's the Hummel again. That's where he moved, up the hill. Trying to work out where he's headed and aiming ahead of his track. He moves over and the shell goes in and splashes him for 104 hit points. So very near miss again. Now, where are the enemy mediums? Well, the thing is, the enemy mediums, there's nobody up there to spot except the guys on the other side of the valley, the T-67 and the Type 58. Now, they should be close enough to see the enemy tanks if they start heading west. And I would more than likely think they would do that now because there's nobody in their way on this side of the valley. We're now just one tank behind the enemy. Type 58 is moving up to join the T-67 on the other side. Now, hopefully they will be able to spot the enemy tanks. There's trees going down, so somebody is moving through that area. And Pilatus fires around in, hoping that he'll catch one of them as they're pulling out of the trees. We don't know which tank it is, but they're more than likely headed towards our cap. So we better prepare to do close damage to the enemy as they arrive at our cap area. We lost the Nashorn in the north. So we're now two tanks behind again. And the more worrying thing is that the enemy does have 3 mediums and a tank destroyer, whereas we only have 1 medium and a tank destroyer. Means they've got the ability to move close, and here's one of them is coming close now. He's only a few grid squares away. It's the Super Jumbo. We can take him out with one shot because he's very badly damaged, and that didn't kill him. Our shot didn't kill him, but the shot from the M41 did. So that's clawed one tank back. But we do know that there's still 2 mediums up there. Hasn't been accounted for. The Type 58 and T-67 have come back to our cap. So we're going very defensive now. It's probably not a good idea to look this far over on the map because there's nobody to spot over here. So the only thing is we're going to be firing where we think the enemy might be, but there's no guarantee they will be. Unless, of course, he's looking for Tracer from the enemy Arty. And one of the enemy mediums has turned up. It's a Panther 4H, and he's just short of the cap in the village. There he is. Dial in. And that one hit the target, so he's badly damaged. I suspect next time the T-67 sees him, yes, he's missed. He's lost nearly all of his hit points, and the next shot will take him out of the game. We're loaded. Grabs out. And 128 hit points. He was lucky to survive that Arty shell, but we've potentially picked up the high caliber as well. Okay, almost reloaded. Now that's evened up the scores, and in fact both teams have exactly the same types of tank remaining. 3 Artys on either side, 1 tank destroyer, 1 medium. Now as far as we know, our tank destroyer and medium have more health than the enemy. We know that that Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4 actually did take a fair amount of damage. He might only have a quarter of his health left. We don't know about the health of their Type T-34. We haven't seen him for a while, but I suspect that he's probably approaching the cap. I'd be very surprised if he stays near his own cap. There's no sign of any trees going down to the village. It usually helps at this point in the game to actually do a bit of counter battery. Try and find out where the enemy Arty are. And you can only really do that by looking for the tracer from the enemy Arty. We do know that the Hummel made his way up onto the top of the hill. And I suspect that's what Lattice is now looking for. Well, he's not behind that bush. Still 5 minutes 20 seconds left to go in this game. One of the most likely positions for the enemy Arty will be in A0 and A9, and those areas are being pinged by the Type 58. Now, what would help a great deal is if the T67 and the Type 58 were to make their way down into the enemy area and just do a quick scout to look for some of the enemy players, especially that Death Toaster. But they found the Death Toaster, and he's actually nearer our cap. And I'm not sure Pilatus is where. Now he is, yep. And it's the T67 who claims the honours. So now the enemy is at a disadvantage, and one of our tanks just got hit by Arty. It was the Type 58. Just got hit by one of the enemy Arty. And since it was stunned, I'd say it was either the Gorilla or the Hummel. The M41's decided he's going to take an active role, and he's going to drive up the south side of the map, and the M44's going with him. Pilatus is going to join him. Now, if you want to know where you can get hold of these skins for the M44, and there's also a skin for the M41 which you may see very shortly. They're available from Rusty's What Skins, and he provided these skins for What Arty Noobs. They're free of charge, and you can apply them to your Arty. He also has skins for other tanks as well. And I think you'll see the M41 skin is actually the Stars and Stripes. The stars are inside the cockpit and the stripes are on the front of the vehicle. And it's got the What Arty Noobs logo on the side of the vehicle as well. Well, we've taken up a firing position. And there's the Type T-34. He's been spotted the other side of the valley. He's firing on the Type 58. We're dialing in. There's the Gorilla. We fire around in. We've lost the Type 58, but we kill the Gorilla. 240 hit points is a one-shot kill. Now we're reloading as fast as we can to get that Type T-34. He's receiving fire from the T-67, and he won't last much longer. We're loaded. Rounds out. And that's a kill shot.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
30 hit points, and the T-67's happy. And now we've got 4 kills, so it is still possible for Pilatus to get a Top Gun. Now he's moving up with the M41. If they're going to, they might as well cap, but if they do find the enemy, they could always shotgun them if they get close enough. The M41 is scouting on this side, and there's the Hummel. He's been spotted. The M41's going to engage. We fire a round in, and unfortunately the M41 is killed by the Hummel. He must have been seen coming, but we now know where the Hummel is. We're reloading as fast as we can. We've indicated target. And the other Arty's been spotted as well. We're almost loaded. Rounds out straight away, and we kill the Hummel. So that's 5 kills. Now can we get this BP? And he's just taken out our T-67, so we really need to kill this BP as quickly as possible. Lining him up. Working out where he's going. We're almost loaded. We're loaded. Rounds out. And we got the kill shot! That's a Top Gun! A blind kill on the enemy Fifi wins the game for Pilatus. Fantastic play there. Now let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Pilatus in the M44. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 22 in that game. And a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Top Gun for getting 6 kills. He got a high caliber for getting the most damage in the battle, and surprisingly, he also picked up the counter battery fire medal. He killed all 3 of the enemy Arty, the Gorilla, the Hummel, and finally that Fifi with that last shot. Brilliant game. Let's have a look at the team scores, see where we stand. Well, there you go. Just look at that. Top of the table, 2,425 hit points for Pilatus in his M44. The next highest scorer was, in fact, the enemy Fifi, who did 1,357 hit points. And then came RT67, who did a fantastic job scouting for 1,163. When it came to kills, again, it's Pilatus with 6 kills. The next highest scorer was the enemy Fifi on the enemy team and their Dev Toaster, who managed 3 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, he's got a clean sweep at the top of the table, 1,168 XP. The next highest scorer was the T67, the Scout, and the M41 for being so brave to go into enemy territory and scout and find out the enemy where the enemy was located. He got 579. So let's have a look at the detail report and see how Pilatus did. He fired 24 shots during that game. He got 9 direct hits and 2 penetrations, splash damage on 15. Damage of 2,425 hit points, of which 2,172 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 11 of the enemy and killed 6 of them, and he also did damage assistance of 120 hit points and stun assistance of 529 hit points off 11 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 46,334 credits, got 16,217 for the personal missions payout, and after ammunition resupply, and the ammo's fairly cheap for this 155mm armed Arty, the total amount of credits he took away was 50,431. He received 1,752 XP, got 491 for personal missions payout, and took away 2,243 altogether. So fantastic display there by Pilatus. Congratulations on the ace tanker, and brilliant to take out the last enemy and get your counter battery and Top Gun at the same time. But a blind shot kill is even better still. You worked out exactly where the Fifi was going, put the round in there, and wiped him out. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.